Yo, what is good, people, man? It's your boy Persona, gaming with Persona, and one half of the What's Up PlayStation podcast crew. Yo, man, listen, I'm really excited, man, because we are about to talk about Dragon's Dogma 2. We finally got some gameplay. We finally got proper gameplay, a proper explanation of what we can expect when it comes to Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm somebody, I definitely love Dragon's Dogma 1. The Dark Arisen, that one that came out to the PlayStation 4. Fell in love with the game. I played through it maybe like 4 or 5 times. Like I really love that game. So like I'm definitely a big fan of this series, and I'm really happy to see that we are finally getting a Dragon's Dogma 2 and getting a nice little deep dive, man. This is great. I'm happy. So we about to break this down, man. We're gonna watch the trailer. I'm gonna point out some things, give my thoughts on what they're talking about and whatnot, and give my final thoughts at the end of the video as well, man. Listen, if you do enjoy the content here on my channel, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. And let's get straight into it, man. All right, man. Here we go. Already looking good, man. Beautiful. And you know this is running on that RE engine. That you know. Beautiful. Oh man. That's one of the advanced jobs right there. We're gonna talk about that later when he talks about that.
Hello everyone, I'm Hideaki Itsuno, the director of Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a narrative-driven action RPG set in an immersive fantasy world designed to place player choice at the heart of the gameplay experience. The action gameplay is designed to challenge your creativity, and although this is a single-player adventure, AI-controlled companions will accompany you throughout the experience.
So that's one thing about Dragon's Dogma. It's not like Monster Hunter or other games like that. It's a very single player focused RPG, like he said, which I don't have an issue with that, especially when it comes to the pawns in this game, right? For those who might not know like how the system works with Dragon's Dogma, you get what's called pawns in the game, and what pawns do is they act as your companions, and he's going to explain it in the video as well. And they're really smart. Like even in Dragon's Dogma 1, they were pretty good, right? So I'm pretty confident that like in Dragon's Dogma 2, the pawns are going to be like really on point. And the cool thing about it is you can use like your friends' pawns or other people's pawns in the community as your pawn as well. You could get like up to like 3 other pawns on your team, right? Your pawn and then 2 others that you choose from like this community pool, and however they're built up. So like it's a really cool concept, man. It's dope.
Today, I'd like to show you a little of what you can expect from the world of Dragon's Dogma 2 with this new gameplay footage.
Finally, we're getting some gameplay.
In Dragon's Dogma 2, up to 3 AI-controlled beings called pawns can join you on your adventures. Players can choose from 4 starting vocations that determine how they will play.
So this is pretty interesting, right? I remember in the first game, the fighter was like the knight, and I guess you could still say like he's pretty much like a knight here. This is like a knight to me anyway, but they got him as a fighter, and we're gonna see when they start showing like the different play styles and stuff like that. He's definitely a lot faster than what I remember when I was playing Dragon's Dogma 1 and using the knight class. But the knight is definitely gonna be like, mage and thief and archer. I ain't gonna lie, that thief is looking fire too. I ain't gonna lie. And I already know Bari, he's definitely gonna pick this thief. This is definitely a Bari class right here, this thief. I already know when he's seen that thief, he was like, oh yeah, that's where I'm going. But thief looks good, mage, archer, they all look good. But y'all know me, man, like I'm definitely gonna be rocking with the fighter class. And wait till we show the advanced classes as well, or the advanced vocations as well. But yeah, they definitely changed this up a little bit. Let's check it out.
Of course, you will be able to change your vocation at any time by visiting vocation guilds. For now, let's look at the fighter vocation. Wielding a one-handed sword and shield, the fighter excels in melee combat. As a fighter, you can cut down enemies with a sword and protect yourself and your party using your shield.
So he's still got like that knight class ability, like that intrinsic ability or whatever, like just being a knight. I'm not sure why they call him a fighter, because he still kind of he pretty much fights like a knight here. But you know, let's continue.
As we keep going, we can see some harpies in the distance. As an art,
Or was it always called fighter? Now I'm second guessing myself. It might have always been called fighter in Dragon's Dogma 1. I forget. I thought it was called knight. Anyway, let's continue.
you'll be better suited to take down enemies above you. Let's see what they can do.
So archer, you
The
definitely
archer
want to
is
get
a
that range
vocation
play
that uses
with
a bow and
archers.
arrow to attack enemies
Good
from a
movement.
distance. Make full use of your arsenal, including exploding or blighting arrows. You can also aim at your enemies
Ooh.
like a third-person shooter.
That's a dope ability. So archers is definitely going to be really good for like that air to air, and you know, get them flying enemies up out the sky. You feel me? So like that's going to be pretty cool. I like that explosive ability too. That looked pretty good.
The monsters of Dragon's Dogma 2 behave organically in the world around them, and will even react to players by using their wits against you.
That's pretty cool. So like they kind of like ambush them, you know, like that's a really cool concept with the game, man. Always keeping you on your toes and stuff like that. I like that.
Next, I would like to show you the mage in action. Mages excel at long-range magical attacks, as well as healing and support spells that bolster your party with various enchantments to give allies an advantage in battle.
Now listen, when I saw that and saw how this mage was getting down, yo, I'm smiling. You understand? Because for those who know me and know how I am and how I play, when it comes to games like this where you can choose like a class, I would always rather be like a tank or a healer, right? So in Dragon's Dogma 2, you already know, man, I'm going for that fighter build first, but best believe a secondary character will definitely be mage, and we're gonna be throwing out them spells. You feel me?
The more advanced and powerful the magic is, the longer the incantation will take.
I wonder if it's a way to speed that up. More advanced spells, if you could speed up like how I'm sure there'd probably be something like that where you could speed up the charge.
In addition to the pawns you adventure with, you will occasionally act with other inhabitants of the world.
What's this? We're trapped.
Lastly, let's take a look at the thief.
Yo, this thief looks nice, man.
As a thief, you use daggers to strike at your enemies,
That thief got
relying
that
on
movement.
agility and quick attacks.
That thief got that movement, man.
Use Swift Step to quickly move away from enemies after an attack. The key strategy for the thief against massive monsters is to find openings
get 'em.
and cling on to the enemy to deal damage.
Yes, sir.
Fighting head-on is always an option, but it's a good idea to utilize the environment around you while engaging with enemies.
That's cool, man. Like I said, I like when developers add dynamics like that to a game to really like keep things fresh, keep things, you know, interesting when it comes to how you can approach enemy fights. I love when devs do stuff like that. So I think something like this, you know, it may seem small or insignificant or you know, for some people, but I like seeing stuff like this because it just it adds a depth of uniqueness for me personally. I think the thief class, that's definitely going to be that looks like a really fun class. I'm not going to lie, like the movement, the movement, the combos, the acrobatics, like that thief is looking really fun. But I'm fighter mage boys. We fighter mage boys over here.
Between your chosen vocation, diverse terrains, and the particular monster you're up against, each encounter challenges players and their party to use their creativity to succeed. Two nations prosper in the world of Dragon's Dogma 2. Vermund, the human kingdom, and Batal, the land of Beastren. In Vermund, the Arisen who slay the dragon have ruled as kings for generations. This land of lush meadows and rolling hills is ripe for exploration. In contrast, Batal is a rugged canyon nation with a city built on the site of ancient ruins. It is home to the Beastren and their unique culture. The nation of Batal offers players a different experience from the human kingdom, with diverse environments to explore and monsters to encounter. In your adventures, you might come across people who call out to you.
Oh, have you some business with the apothecary, sir?
Other times, you might receive quests from people who you aid.
Pretty standard RPG stuff, you know, with the side missions. Yo, that's one thing too about the side missions in Dragon's Dogma. I remember from the first game, like there were like certain, Dragon's Dogma 1 like really specific when it comes to like the type of side missions you could do, like when you can do them, certain ways of how you're supposed to do them. It was a very unique thing when it came to like the side missions in Dragon's Dogma 1. I do think they're going to add that same level of like uniqueness and quirkiness when it comes to some of these side missions. You know, you can only do side missions at night. You can only do a mission during the day. You got to have this, you got to have this armor or something like that. Like, I'm interested to see the direction that they take the Dragon's Dogma 2 side quest and whatnot.
Thought I'd ne'er make it. If I might be so bold as to impose upon you again, would you be willing to accompany me to the cenotaph and safeguard me from harm?
Pawns with knowledge of a quest may be able to guide you to the right location, but it is up to the player to decide whether to follow them or not.
That's interesting.
Pawns support you throughout your adventures and may come to your aid when you are in trouble.
Now that's kind of crazy, yo. Like having them drop like that. And like the pawn just catches you, yo. That's cool, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty dope, man. Cause like I said, this is like your own pawn, so you're able to create your own pawn. So you always have like a companion with you when you're fighting, and you could put it with, you can build it up how you want and have like armor and all this other stuff. And like I said, 2 other pawns that you could have on your team as well while you play through your adventure. And this is like offline. Like I mean, you have to have an online connection to connect to like the kiosk or whatever to see other people's pawns. So if you have friends on your friends list that are playing Dragon's Dogma 2 as well and building up their own pawns, they can opt to put their pawn into the registry or whatever, and you would be able to use your friend's pawn or use random people's pawns in the community. It's really, really cool, man. Like it's a really cool concept. So I can't wait to see how that takes off in this game.
To complete your quests, you can ride ox carts to travel to major locations. But be aware, as you might get attacked en route to your destination and have to decide how to tackle the situation. During the ride, you can choose to close your eyes to quickly arrive at your destination.
Yo, let me be honest with you. When I was first watching this during the live stream for the TGS show, I was like, yo, I hope we don't gotta ride this slow cart the whole time. Like, is there a way to speed this up? And when he said that, I was like, oh, I was definitely a little worried at first. Like, I hope this ain't, we can speed this up a little bit.
Time is ever passing, even while riding an ox cart, and the environment around the player constantly changes. Nighttime is especially dangerous.
Yo, let me tell you something. Fighting enemies at night in Dragon's Dogma, that's an experience, man. Because like enemies are stronger, or you see like much tougher enemies. You get like I remember in the first game there was like certain areas that had like the undead and all this other stuff. Yo, nighttime in Dragon's Dogma is a scary thing. But it's also like, it's like that good type of scary, like that good adrenaline rush, especially if you're someone that's looking for like a challenge or want to have some fun. It's kind of like going into the dark zone on Division, right? Where you can lose your stuff and, there's like all these different things or whatever. That concept is here too with being in the nighttime on Dragon's Dogma. I love it.
With no light to illuminate your surroundings, you will be enveloped in pitch black darkness where you can't even see your feet.
They go to undead right there, just like in the first game. They go to undead.
Also, there are dangerous monsters that only appear at night, so you need to be careful when adventuring in the dark.
So, you know, doing like hunt boards or doing certain missions where you may need to slay enemies and stuff like that. Like I said, that uniqueness of like, oh, you know, you have to kill this undead ogre or whatever, zombie ogre or whatever, just, you know, speaking hypothetically. But he only comes out at night in this specific area, you know, and he's super, super tough, like stuff like that. And I don't know, I think they're going to probably keep the same concept too, just like in one, where in order to have like the oil lamp that you see on the mage's hip, you got to have oil with you. Like, you know, you actually have to have oil and all this other stuff with you to keep the lamp lit. So I think they're going to also keep that concept here with the second game as well, where like you have to have those supplies and stuff like that to keep refilling the lamp if it runs out. Because if it runs out while you're in the middle of the pitch black, man, it's gonna be a rough night for you. Low key too, the mage look like that might be the wave like at night too, man. Cause like you see like the light, like how it's all lit up, and she got like her powers that's like lighting things up as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they give the mage, because the mage is so support focused with like the healing and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they give the mage some type of ability that would allow them to kind of have their own personal light. You feel me? That they can use that, and you won't need the lamp. Because I feel like they would put like some type of secondary or failsafe in there, for when if you ran out of like oil or whatever to light the lamp. I feel like they would give the mage something like that.
Your feet. Also, there are dangerous monsters that only appear at night, so you need to be careful when adventuring in the dark. If you have a camping kit, you can find a campsite to spend the night and recover your health.
Good evening, Arisen. 'Tis the honor of my life to share your journey.
Like I said, you're gonna see some unique characters in Dragon's Dogma 2. Very fantasy focused. Like it's a very fantasy style game, RPG game. It's dope.
Arisen.
To wrap up, I'd like to introduce some advanced vocations that become available as you progress in the story.
This is where things get good, guys. All right, sit up. You gotta, you know, my mic right now. This is the advanced, because this is what I'm excited about. Because when you get to a certain level in Dragon's Dogma, you then get access to like an advanced vocation or an advanced job based upon what your character, what job you went with or whatever. So I'm glad that they're showing this off, and they actually show the fighter, which I'm excited about. So we're gonna talk about it.
The Mystic Spear Hand combines magic attacks and weapon-based physical attacks. A good all-rounder, they use their duo spear at close range and magic at long range. They can also use magic to block an enemy's movement or throw multiple items at once. The Magic Archer is a vocation that further specializes in long-range attacks with magical arrows.
Yes.
On top of healing and providing support to your allies, they can learn a skill that releases a powerful attack over a wide area in exchange for reducing their own maximum HP.
Look at the stun lock on that. Oh my God, yo. Yo, hold on, man. We gotta run that back. Look at the stun lock on that. I ain't gonna lie, that Archer's looking nice with that stun lock. Jeez. That Magic Archer might be the wave, yeah? That Magic Archer might be the wave, you understand? Wow.
Maximum HP. And of course, there are other unique vocations you can look forward to. We have a playable version of Dragon's Dogma 2 at the Tokyo Game Show Capcom booth.
I'm so hurt that I wasn't at TGS this year. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo and Dragon's Dogma 2. Oh, they're killing me. I want to go back to the Magic Fighter. Or what did he call him?
Vocations that become available as you progress in the story. The Mystic Spear Hand.
The Mystic Spear Hand it's looking like it's gonna be on point as well, man. Like that
and
movement is
combines
looking
magic
right.
attacks
That movement is looking right. That movement is looking on point with that Mystic Spear hand. I'm liking that Mystic Spear hand as well. I'm assuming this is probably well, it's obviously its own job, but I'm wondering if it builds off of the fighter job in any way, right? My whole thing is obviously they didn't show everything, so obviously, you know, there's obviously more that we're gonna be looking at and paying attention to. I think my whole thing is in the first game, I was a holy paladin, I think it was, or a holy knight, and yo, the abilities and whatnot that you had as that holy knight was, it was nasty. It was nasty. So I hope they have something like that here. I assume they will, especially if they're building off of DD1. I do think that we'll most likely get I can get my holy paladin, you know, my holy paladin to build in this second game, right? But let's watch the rest of this.
looking forward to the impressions of those who get a chance to play. Dragon's Dogma 2 is being developed for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and Steam. Please stay tuned for more information. Thank you.
Fire. Also, elemental abilities, they go to Dragon. They go to World Dragon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, that was great. That was great. This is my whole thing, right? This was a great showing. I love that they gave us like a great explanation of everything. You know, they broke down the jobs, they broke down what you can expect in terms of the world, the factions, or the towns and things like that. Some of the advanced jobs you'll be able to have in the game, right? I love that they broke this down. These are the type of showings that I love to see. Kind of bummed out we still don't have a release date or even a release year for this game yet. I'm assuming we'll get this game in at some point in 2024, not early, but I think like maybe like fall 2024 to early 2025, right? But based off what we're seeing here, man, it definitely looks like it's the development of the game is going along pretty smoothly. You feel me? But I loved what I saw, man. I can't wait to play the game. I hope they drop a demo or something like that. I'm hoping. But yo, listen, let me know in the comments below, you know, are you excited for Dragon's Dogma 2? Are you going to pick the game up? What class are you going to choose, right? And yo, man, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick gameplay breakdown of Dragon's Dogma 2 at Tokyo Game Show 2023. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And as always, I appreciate you guys so much for rocking out with me here on Gaming with Persona YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys next time. It's been your boy Persona, and I'm out, guys. Peace.